Welcome to this video today. This is going to be all about home buying and a little bit of selling in North Carolina with yours truly, Joel Hargett, your favorite real estate broker, aka your next real estate broker. All right, guys, so let's go ahead, dive right in on what it is and what it takes to sell and buy your home in North Carolina. So, a little bit about me. My name is Joel Hargett. Grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina. Went to college at UNC Greensboro. Had a great time there. I studied communication studies. I joined a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, yo-yo. And then I did a little bit of work in, volunteer, sales, law enforcement, fitness, and then I eventually moved into the real estate spectrum. All right, so what is real estate? A lot of people just think it's the home that you're buying, but no, it comes with a couple of different things. It is the physical structure. However, it comes with the land that the structure is on, depending on what type of property it is, and then air rights. What that air rights means is just that no one can fly over, well, people can fly over your home. The government has those rights, but no one can build a bridge over your home. So if you were to take a look at this picture, this is a home that I helped someone sell in Pineville, North Carolina, some good friends of mine. Look at that beautiful blue sky. There's nobody building a bridge over their home. There's no tower over their home. There's nothing over their home just except that beautiful blue sky. No one in North Carolina or anyone can have air rights above your home when you buy the home except for the United States government. They have air rights so they can fly planes overhead. Also, something that you have are land rights. So in North Carolina, when you buy a home, there's going to be something called a MOG, a mineral oil and gas little form you're going to have to sign. And that just makes sure that no one has sold the mineral oil gas rights, like any of the rights under the land. You want to make sure all of those come together. Also, the physical structure, which everyone thinks about, this is something that you are going to buy when you buy a home. So you're buying the air rights, the land rights, and the structure. Okay, so what should you do first when you're thinking about buying a home? You're at the right place. You should reach out to a real estate broker like myself, Joel Hargett, 704-996-6496, or you can reach out to me at joelhargettgroup@gmail.com. That's JoelHargettGroup@gmail.com. So, why should you reach out to a real estate broker first before reaching out to your best friend, before reaching out to a lender? That is because that we are going to be pretty much the project managers of the whole group. We're going to make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to go, as much as possible, because things do happen in real estate, but we're going to bring all the pieces together. Now, if you can see on the screen, it does say free. I do need to change that. The commission does not want us to use that word free. However, generally, when you use a real estate broker when purchasing a home, the majority of the time, the seller is paying the buyer's commission. Even though we are working for the buyer, the seller is paying the buyer's commission. All right. So, what are you going to do next? Oh, let me backtrack. Is it going to let me go back? It will not let me go back. But the previous slide, it talked about how we're professionals. We help people sell and buy homes every single day. You want to reach out to a professional like us. You want to reach out to someone who has experience, like myself, or someone else who has been doing real estate. They don't have to do it for, 30 years, but at least have reps under their belt. They've helped somebody at least, buy or sell homes a few times recently, because the market changes a lot. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to a professional. All right. After that, we're going to reach out to a lender. Most real estate brokers have a couple of lenders that they know, like, and trust that they've worked with before. You can get recommendations from lenders from your real estate broker, or you can get recommendations from your friends, family, someone that has been used before, or you can just call up your bank or your credit union. It's completely up to you. But again, you just want to make sure we know where the money is coming from. That's going to be a large part of buying a home. Some people are able to buy it in cash, and if they can, that's amazing. I'm starting to hear a little bit of noise about crypto being able to buy homes. I haven't experienced that personally yet, but I think that is coming down the pipeline. But again, a good lender is key. If you're going to be borrowing any type of money, having a good lender to help you out through that transaction is going to be a key part of it. They're going to be almost neck and neck with having a good realtor and having a good lender. If you don't have a good lender, they could literally cost you thousands of dollars. So make sure that it's a good lender, they have a good work ethic. I would recommend having a lender that works on the weekends. The reason why I say that is because a lot of my clients put in offers on homes on the weekend. So you want to make sure that you're able to get in contact with that lender if need be. Again, that's not a requirement. That's just my personal recommendation. A lot of clients that I know don't want a real estate broker that only works Monday through Friday and does not have a team or people set in place to help them on the weekends. So I would recommend you have that same thing in place with a lender. All right, so what is considered in getting a pre-approved? You already know if you're not buying it with cash, not doing it with crypto, then you're gonna have to get a loan. So, or there's exchanges, but most people are gonna get loans. What goes into that? It's gonna be your debt to income ratio, your credit history, your credit score, employment history, your income, your assets, and they're also gonna verify your employment. Pre-approval is different from a pre-qualification letter. A pre-approval is going to rank a lot higher than a pre-qual. So to make sure when you're talking to a lender and it's that time for you to get pre-approved, that you get a pre-approval and not a pre-qualification. Now, with that being said, if you're not ready to buy a home, let's not get a pre-approval just yet. You can reach out to a lender. You can ask them, kind of throw some ideas out there for them as like, monetary, how much you're making, how long you've been at your job, debt to income ratio, things like that. And they can probably give you a roundabout range of what you might be pre-approved for. However, let's not get pre-approved until you're actively ready to buy a home. That would be my recommendation. Some brokers might tell you something differently. However, I don't want your credit to get hit when you're not taking it serious about buying a home. When you are serious, let's go. Let's get pre-approved. All right, guys. So making an offer in North Carolina. You're going to put an offer in. We're going to get it accepted if it's the best offer in there. It is right now, today is May 2nd, 2022. It is a very competitive market. So we're going to put in that offer. When it gets accepted, I'm going to say when, not if, then we have time to do inspections. We have appraisals. We're going to try to negotiate to make it a win-win. And then we're going to go to closing time, get it all closed. All right, so what goes into an offer? Due diligence money, due diligence period, earnest money, closing dates. I wouldn't put in anything else as far as like seller contribution, just because it is a competitive market right now, and we generally don't want to ask the seller to do anything extra up front. We want to put our best foot forward. We don't want to show them, our ugly side, that we're going to be asking for this, that, and the third. So with putting in an offer, the amount of money that you're saying you're going to pay for the home, that's going to be important, especially depending on how many days it's been on the market. If it's in multiple offers, you're probably going to have to come in a little bit higher. If it's been sitting for a while, you might be to come in a little bit lower. But your realtor or your real estate broker is going to be able to help you out with that number. There's different tricks you can do to find a competitive number. Again, reach out to me, 704-996-6496. If you don't have an agent, because I don't want to step on any toes. But if you don't have an agent and you're looking to buy a home, reach out to me. I'll be able to give you, my tricks on how you find that competitive number. Due diligence money. That's something that's going to be important too. That's the money that you're going to give the seller to take the home and put it in under contract status. You're going to have time to go in the home, look around, have your inspector come through, do any other tests that you want to do that are reasonable, and also get it appraised during that time. That's going to be your due diligence period. Right now, since it's so competitive, people want a short due diligence period, maybe 7 days to 14 days. Depending on your lender, you want to make sure that everything can get done in that time as far as getting it appraised and having the appraisal back. That's when it's important that, if you're putting in offers on the weekend, you have a lender that you can talk to on the weekend and just be like, hey, I'm putting in this offer. When do you think we can have the appraisal back by? Because your due diligence period, you can lose money if you break out of the contract after the due diligence period is up. Again, reach out to your real estate broker about that, or reach out to me in person. I'll go over that a little bit more. Earnest money, that's money that you're going to be putting down to say, hey, if I breach this contract, Mr. Seller, don't take me to court. Here's some earnest money. Here you go. And we're just out of this contract. So, again, that earnest money comes up on certain occasions. But again, reach out to your real estate broker to tell you a little bit more about that, because I'm not going to go in depth about that. That's just something that goes into the offer. Your closing date is important. Some people might want to close within 30 days, some 21, some 45, some 60 days. That's when it's going to be important for your real estate broker to open up that dialogue with the other agent, the listing agent, and be like, hey, what terms do your clients want? When do they want to close? Do they want a short close? Do they want a fast? Do they want a slow close? All of those things are going to be important. Also, you'll just see something right there that says closing costs and cash to close. Before we put in an offer, we do want to check with the lender just to make sure that everything they're foreseeing, you have enough funds to close. And that's going to be, with your down payment, taxes, attorney fees, everything like that. HOA, if there's HOA, you just want to make sure that you have all of the funds to close. We would hate to get maybe a week before closing, you don't have enough funds to close, and then you've lost your due diligence money and your earnest money and your time and money that you paid for an appraiser, an inspector, all of that stuff. So just make sure we're reaching out to those lenders to make sure we have enough cash to close. All right, I went over this a little bit, but again, it's just your due diligence and your due diligence period. That's going to be the time that the home, is put in that under contract status. It does not mean the home is off the market. I do want to make that very clear. The home is very much still on the market. It's just under contract show or under contract no show. Again, that time you can do your inspections, your appraisals, any other tests like radon, things that are important to you. You can have those tests done. Also, that due diligence money, that is going to be the amount that you're giving to the seller. Most of the time, you will not get it back if you break out of the contract. There are some occasions where you can. However, the majority of that time, you will not get that money back. It does go to a credit that you already paid it at closing if you close on the home. However, if you break out a contract on that home, the majority of the time, you do not get that money back. I just want to be extremely clear and vocal about that. So before you decide on how much money you want to put down for due diligence money, have that conversation with your real estate broker or your real estate agent just to make sure they're advising you on what you should do and weighing that risk and reward. All right, key players in the transaction outside of myself, Joel Hargett, your favorite real estate broker, aka your next real estate broker. It's going to be the lender, which we've already talked about, the appraiser, the attorney, and then the listing agent. One thing with that listing agent, when you're on the buy side, they might seem nice. Don't tell them anything that you would not want to be used against you in a negotiation, because they're going to be obligated to tell their clients. So if you're like, hey, Mr. Listing Agent, I know this house is listed for $250,000, but I'd actually pay $315,000. Funny that they're going to play hardball until you get to that 310, 315 range. So don't tell them anything you would not want them to use against you in negotiations. All right, so the inspector. They're going to be someone who comes in, they're going to check the house. It's almost like checking under the hood of a car just to make sure you know what you're buying. They're going to see if there's anything wrong with the home, make sure everything's up to code, and if it's not, they're going to let you know about it. If there's you can also get termite tests through some inspectors. They'll let you know about that. What type of pipes are in the home, if everything's working. They're going to go through a whole laundry list of things just to make sure you know what you're actually buying. All right, the appraiser. They're going to make sure that the home is worth what you said you were going to offer on the home. So if you said, hey, I'm going to pay $300,000, then this appraiser is going to go over there, look at the home, because you're getting a loan from the bank. The bank needs to make sure that their investment is worth it. So they're going to send an appraiser out there on your behalf. You usually have to pay for it. And they're going to make sure that home is worth what you offered in on it. Sometimes it's worth more. Sometimes the appraiser says it's worth less. And sometimes it comes right in on the money. If the home appraises for less than what you said you're going to pay for it on, then your real estate broker, they can try to find additional comps and then send it to the appraiser and see if the appraiser will readjust what they said the home's going to be worth, so you don't have to come up with additional money. However, if that fails and the appraiser does not help you out and raise the price or raise what he says or she says it's worth, then there's a couple of ways you can go about trying to get money off the home just to help you out. Again, I can't go over that because I'm not your real estate broker yet. But if you want to reach out to me, again, joelhargetgroup@gmail.com or 704-996-6496. I'll be more than happy to help you out with that if you don't have an agent, because I don't want to step on toes because I can get sued. Don't want to get sued. But again, it's not the end of the world if the appraisal comes in low. All right, the attorney, another key player. They're going to make sure that there's no liens or lawsuits on the home. They're going to check to make sure HOA is completely paid up, or if there's an HOA fee that needs to be paid when you, first get into the home. They're going to make sure that's paid. They're going to make sure that the seller's mortgage is going to be paid off at closing, so then you can legally move into the home. They're going to hold the funds. They're going to do the documents for us. They're just going to help out with a whole lot of things to make sure that you can successfully get into the home. All right, so now that you have an idea of the process, what other things do you need to know? All right, so your real estate broker or real estate agent should go over the offer to purchase with you just so you know what you're going to be signing. You don't want to just blanketly sign anything. There's a lot of different terms in there and a lot of different things that can help you win the offer, lose the offer. You want to make sure that your agent or broker is fully filling everything out. And you just want to make sure you know what you're signing, because again, there's a lot of money at stake. There's a lot of different areas where they talk about money in the offer to purchase. And certain areas that are dates in the offer to purchase, and if you don't adhere to those dates, you could lose money as well. So again, making sure your real estate broker lets you know and go over the offer to purchase and they explain it to you. Also, there's a buyer's agency agreement. This just talks about how, you're going to be working with a buyer's agent and they're going to be working with you. It also goes over their commission, how much they're getting paid, and a couple of other good things in there that you want your realtor or real estate broker to go over with you. In addition, there's a working with real estate agents document. It used to be a brochure. I think now they're just doing it all online. However, that document is something that a real estate broker, a real estate agent is supposed to give you when y'all start talking about certain things. And that's, again, that starts off with anything that could be used against you in a negotiation. Your motivation for moving, your price point. if you talk to an agent, even if you're like, hey, I want this agent to be mine, they need to start sending you that working with real estate agents document, just so it fully explains their role and the role of other agents. All right, what else should you know? There's something called dual agency, seller sub agency, designated dual agency. Those are, about real estate agents working with certain firms. And if, I work with EXP right now, if I'm listing a house, I work with EXP. And then there's a buyer who wants to buy a home, and he has an agent that works with EXP that just kind of goes over, different options on how that transaction can go. Again, reach out to your real estate broker, your real estate agent. They should be going over all of that with you, just so you know if you're in dual agency, seller sub agency, designated dual agency, and what the pros and cons of those are. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of tips to make a good offer. Again, if I'm not your real estate broker, ask your real estate broker or your real estate agent about these tips, because they are going to be the ones guiding you through the process. So, what makes a good offer in a seller's market? Glad you asked. Here it is. So, an over ask offer. Right now in the seller's market, homes are at a premium. So there's a lot of people looking at one home and a lot of people wanting that. So if you're serious about the home, most times you're going to have to go a little bit over asking, or maybe even more than just a little bit. Your agent should be able to guide you on how much over asking you should go. Again, reach out to me if you don't have one. I can help you out with that. I have a great way of figuring that out. Also, due diligence money. This is going to be, risk reward. A lot of agents or a lot of sellers want a lot of due diligence money because they want to make it feel like, you're locked into this contract. You're not going to leave. They want to feel secure about your home being sold. So the more due diligence money that you put in, the more likely you are to probably get that home. However, it is a high risk for you, because if you were to put in $50,000 due diligence money, your buyer's agent is going to have a hard time negotiating for you because the seller already has 50 grand. And it's going to be hard for you to walk away if something comes up in the inspection report or the appraisal that you don't like. So again, due diligence money, it can help you get the home. However, it is a high risk if you put in a lot of money. Again, due diligence period, a short due diligence period is what a lot of sellers have liked in the past. Earnest money doesn't matter as much, but again, if you throw a high number up there, it's going to be more than likely, or you have a better chance of getting the home as well. Definitely if it's paired with the high due diligence number. Short closing period is what a lot of sellers have liked. Again, you want your agent to reach out just to make sure, but that's something I've seen. A clean offer. What that means is, don't ask for people's heirlooms. If the home is not coming with a refrigerator, don't ask for a refrigerator. If the home doesn't say it's coming with the TVs or the sofas, don't ask for the TVs and the sofas. You don't want to miss out on that home that you say is your dream home just because you're not getting a TV with it or a sofa. Home prices, from what I've seen, are going up about $3,000 to $5,000 a month. If you go ahead and get in a home now and save that $3,000 to $5,000, you can buy the TV, probably buy the sofa, and the fridge. So worry about getting in your home that you want. Don't worry about all the other stuff that does not come with it. All right, another thing, your loan to value or your cash. Say if you're putting 20% down, that's going to look way better to a seller than someone who's putting 3% down. Why do you say that? Glad you asked. The reason why is, you remember when I talked about homes not appraising? In a seller's eyes, if a home doesn't appraise and you only put 3% down, the likelihood of you being able to complete that transaction if the appraisal comes in way low is going to be a little bit harder. But say if my client's putting 20% down and the home doesn't appraise, my client has cash on hand to play with, so they can come up to that offer price that they said, and my clients might not have to negotiate. So again, that loan to value is going to be important. Contract completion. Believe it or not, agents look at this. I've had a lot of contracts come through me where agents have missed stuff, they didn't put things in there, and that just kind of makes me be like, okay, this agent doesn't know what they're doing, so this whole transaction is going to be them not knowing what they're doing, and that could cause problems, delays, or it's not going under contract. Or if everything is filled in correctly, then I'm like, hey, this client has it all together. They're probably going to help us, help us to get to the finish line, which is closing on the home. And lastly, personality. So there's a lot of agents. A lot of them have different personalities. You want to pick an agent that fits your personality as well as going to, get their foot in the door for you. So if I had an offer on a home that's $500,000 and another offer on a home that's $500,000, if one agent, and they're identical offers, if one agent is not the greatest agent or not the nicest or calmest, and I have another one who is calm, cool, and collected and respectful, I'm gonna let my clients know about both of their personalities, and my clients are probably gonna pick the agent who is calm, cool, and collected. So again, pick a real estate broker who has a good personality. Myself. All right, so how do you see homes when working with a real estate broker? Again, this is how I talk to my buyers and let them know. But again, reach out to your real estate broker or your real estate agent, and they might have a different thought process on this. So the way I do it is I set all my clients up on an automatic search. If they don't want to, I won't do it. But who doesn't want the homes being filtered to them exactly the way they want it? So that's why I do that. I set them up on an automatic search. That's my website down there, www.joelhargett.exprealty.com. Feel free to go to it, look up properties. Great place to do it. Again, www.joelhargett.exprealty.com. Another thing that I coach my buyer clients on is to think about your non-negotiables. Real estate right now is very competitive. You don't need to waste time looking at homes that you don't like or that you're not going to seriously think about putting an offer in on. So when you go look at homes, they need to be pretty much, hey, I love these homes, I want to put an offer on it, and this is just me going there physically to make sure it checks off everything that I thought it had. It shouldn't be oh, I think I might like this home. So I coach my clients, think about your non-negotiables. If you have 2 cars and you want both of those cars in a garage, let's not look at a 1-car garage, because you're going to get there and be like, man, we drove all the way out here. We don't like it because it's a 1-car garage. We can eliminate that on the front end, because now we just missed out on another showing where it could have been the home that you really wanted. So think about your non-negotiables. If you're like, hey, I want a 2-story house, let's not look at a 1-story house. Stick to your non-negotiables. You'll be less frustrated if you do that, I promise you. Another thing, schedule your appointments to see homes early in the day. If at all possible, clear your schedule so you and your realtor can go look at those homes in the morning. Because again, you don't want to schedule to see a home at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and then that listing agent already got an offer that they can't refuse, and then they cancel showings for the rest of the day. I've seen it happen tons of times. So you want to get in there early so you have the chance to put in your offer and get your offer considered if you want to put an offer in on that home. And you also want to talk to your real estate broker. If you see a home that's coming soon and you want it or you want to look at it, go ahead and tell them right away. Or at least, if it's me, tell me right away, so then I can go ahead and get it scheduled before it gets booked up. You don't want to tell me or your agent the day of, if you can help it, because you're not the only one that wants to see that home. So You might have wanted to see that home, but 20 other people want to. So if you tell them the day of, you might miss your chance. And then that could have been the perfect home for you. But since you were unable to get in there, we didn't put in an offer and you lost out on what would have been the perfect home. So think about that. All right, now let's go to what's not important when I first see a home. Property disclosures. A lot of homes have information about them, what type of pipes they have, how old they are, the make of the roof, how many, maybe what the HOA is, things like that. That's not important on every single home. You only want those on homes that you're like, hey, I'm going to put an offer in on. Now let me see these disclosures. That's going to be almost like your final thing, nail in the coffin, to make sure you're okay with everything on this home. So you don't want to do that for every single home because it's going to waste your time. You want to make sure you only do that on the homes that you're like, hey, raising my hand, I want this home. Let me see the property disclosures so I know this is what I really want. And then also comps, comparable homes in the neighborhood. This is only going to be important when you're looking to put in an offer. It's not important for every home that you're going to go see because realistically, you're probably not going to like every home that you're going to see. So there's no reason to run comps on every single one. It's only important on the homes where you're about to make a financial decision, and that financial decision is putting in an offer. All right, so let me leave you with the biggest pitfalls that I see, because we all want to be successful. We don't want to have, if we can avoid these pitfalls, let us do that. So the biggest pitfalls that I see are people not sticking with their non-negotiables. Again, that's going to waste their time, their energy, and they're going to get a little frustrated with the process because they're going to have to keep seeing homes and none of them are going to work for them, or they're going to miss out on a home and say, oh man, I wish I had seen that home, but they're busy seeing another home, and that home that they wanted goes under contract because they weren't sticking with their non-negotiable. So stick with your non-negotiables. Once my clients have done that, they have not missed out on pretty much the home that works for them. Overthinking. I get it. It's a huge investment. It really is. It's a lot of money on the line. However, with the market that we're in right now, we got to kind of think fast. And that's where your realtor comes in. They're going to, hopefully if you have a good one like myself, they're going to stop you if you're about to make a bad decision, or at least, I can't say stop you. They're going to raise a red flag if you make a bad decision, or if you're about to make a bad decision. I tell my clients all the time that I go in a home with them when they're on the buyer side, and I'm here just to point out all the red flags and all the negatives. It's up for them to still buy the home if that's what they want, but I'm never convincing my clients, oh yeah, you should pick this home. Oh yeah, this is great. Never going to do that to my buyer clients. If I'm on the listing side and I'm helping sell a home for my sellers, yes, I am going to convince you because I'm in sales. That's what I'm supposed to do. But when I have buyer clients, I don't want them overthinking it. That's what I'm paid for. Also, pitfalls. Like I talked about earlier, waiting to schedule the home the day of. That's when other people are already going to have it fully booked, and then you're going to miss out on that home. Lender relationship. I've had deals almost fall apart. I've had agents who've had deals fall apart because the lender wasn't doing their job, or they didn't qualify the person right on the front end. A slew of different reasons. So you want to make sure that you have a good lender relationship or relationship with your lender. And pitfalls, due diligence, offer price, trust your real estate broker. It is a lot of money on the table. They should be doing their research for you and to help get you into that home. So that due diligence, that offer price, all of that's going to be very, very important when it comes into putting in an offer. A lot of times agents can tell you that an offer is not going to get accepted. You might try to put the offer in anyways, and it doesn't get accepted. Listen to your agent. We know what we're talking about. Again, if you need help with that, reach out to me. If you don't have an agent, again, not getting sued. I'm not trying to encroach on anybody's clients. So if you're not working with a real estate agent or real estate broker, feel free to reach out to me. If you are, reach out to them for their advice. You can even show this video to them, ask them for their opinion on it, because they might have a different way they go about things. But long story short, listen to your real estate broker, listen to your real estate agent to help you avoid those pitfalls. All right, guys, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for it. My name is Joel Hargett. I operate in North Carolina and South Carolina. My number's on the screen, 704-996-6496. Joel.Hargett@exprealty.com is my email, and my website is www.joelhargett.exprealty.com. If you can, my channel's new, so if you could like and subscribe, if you made it this far, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in real estate, reach out to me. I would love to start that conversation and help you on your real estate journey. I know what it's done to help me out in my life, so I would love to do the same and help you out as well. But again, thank you all for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here for it.